If the players go through the eastern door, they will arrive into a two-story room. The first floor is 10 feet below this floor, and it's a very barren floor with nothing much more than a small little corridor leading west that has a closed door behind it, and there are writhing humanoid bodies all around the floor. There's also the garbage chute on the wall, where full bodies are kind of pushed through and they fall into the floor, and if the players arrive here, they are also going to fall into the floor and suffer 1d6 bludgeoning damage as a result. The upper floor, where the players most likely will arrive into, has a bunch of things in it. It has a very large aquarium on the western wall that has a bunch of pink eel creatures swimming in it. These eels are quite large, around the size of medium-sized dogs or something. Something where you have to hold them with two arms if you're holding them. And there's also tables and workspaces and racks and whatnot. There are also some hostile creatures in here. There are two creatures of medium size that look like they have some sort of a natural hazmat suit on. From their wrists and ankles onward towards their body, their skin looks like it's loose and kind of like a thick version of dead skin that snakes kind of shed off. This kind of silky film on top of them makes the rest of their body look like it's just a silhouette, apart from their faces that look very skeletal behind the silky surface. They also have very pointy and sharp claws that can be used to serrate and cut through mortal flesh, and both of them are holding something. First one is holding a man-catcher. This is a long pole arm with a kind of omega symbol-looking tip that has a serrated interior, or almost like a saw blade. And this works very much like a lot of pole arms, where it's two-handed, heavy, and it has some interesting qualities. It does 2d4 slashing damage, and when you grapple, or rather when you strike someone with it, you can instantly do a free grapple action with it. And it also has reach that is 5 feet further than regular reach. So you can grab someone 15 feet from you, and if you're playing like a bugbear, you can do it at 20 feet. So it's a kind of a nasty kind of pole arm, but if the players want to grab it and use it for themselves, it can be quite cumbersome because it's so large, and in tight spaces it's gonna be kind of rough. And also it's easy to get pigeonholed as the man-catcher person in the party if every time you come across a monster, somebody's job is to try and grapple it with the man-catcher and just stay still while the rest of the party have all the fun. But yeah, and the second one is holding one of the eels. It has just taken one of the eels out of the aquarium because these two plan on grabbing the humanoids underneath with the man-catcher and then slide one of these eels down their throats. The eels will slide into their bodies, completely invading their bodily autonomy, and they will individually and very carefully, with surgical precision, detach all their larger organs in their body and kind of swallow them and keep them inside of them like a bag. The bodies themselves then become almost like automatons, and they will start to walk towards the western door in the lower floor. What's behind that door, that's going to be revealed next. But in terms of stats, these two medium creatures are going to be using the same Gnoll Flesh Gnawer stats from Volo's guide that the blinded Gnoll in the murder cabin used earlier, but this time there's no blindness, and there's two of them, and one of them is holding a man-catcher. The eels have the same exact stats as intellect devourers from the monster manual, so even having one of them is, gonna be bad times, and should the aquarium break where there's like 15 to 20 of them inside, that's gonna be like an apocalyptic event on the players, and most likely a TPK, so better not let that happen.